listening to Opinions and Beer.
Stone Cold Steve Austin knows that the Opinions and Beer podcast exists in this world.
My sex act, crazy bike.
No, bro, I can't drop out of the scene for 14 months and show up as a co-host. I'm a
donkey show right in the middle of the...
And they always say to review IPAs last. The bitterness can destroy your palate for other beers.
And opinions and beer. Two guys and another guy. Will never happen again. Hello and welcome to Opinions and Beer. I'm your host, Adam. Today, let's jump right into it. I'm going to let you know first, I'm battling COVID, or I'm getting off the rails of COVID. I lost my taste and smell, so I'm not sure how this review is going to go. I'm going to be reviewing and ranking the movies of 2020. This is the first episode of the new year, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 2020 films I've seen and rank them from worst to best, and that should be fun. So the beer of the day is brought to you by Karbach Brewing Company. This is Brewsanity. Brewsanity is 8.5% Golden Strong Ale. Now, this particular Golden Strong Ale, I believe, is brewed with Belgium yeast. So it's a Golden Strong Belgium Ale. Sitting at 8.5, like I said. Karbach has some hits, but they have mostly misses for the podcast that we reviewed. They have one or two. They have a few go-to beers that I'll put in the fridge. They have a few fridge stock beers, so it'll be interesting to try this one. Let's go ahead and try to taste this beer. Oh yeah, that's really smooth for 8.5. I'm not really getting the Belgium yeast just yet. So the one thing that COVID did to me was I can't taste subtle flavors. And so I may not be able to taste the Belgium yeast, even if it was in there. So I have to rank this based off somebody who has lost their taste. Is this a beer good for someone who has lost aftertaste? That's what I can't taste. I cannot taste aftertaste. My aftertaste is still gone, but like I can taste it. I mean, this beer has flavor. It tastes more like a traditional golden ale to me, though. Not getting any of the aftertaste like I'm supposed to. Mild spices, perhaps, that sit on the tongue, but other than that, that's about it. I don't know what to rate this. I give Brewsanity 7 COVID stars out of 10. I'd buy it again on COVID. I'd buy it again without even lacking my taste. It's a pretty smooth beer. It has a refreshing taste to it. And doesn't have any. I cannot taste any bad flavors. But that's up for debate. But anyways, let's get on with the opinion segment of this episode. This is going to be the main point of this episode, and the length of the episode will be talking about these movies. So here we go. Here we are. 2020 in film. I ranked the movies that I watched in 2020. 45. Coming in at the very bottom at 45 is Rogue. Rogue was I guess it was released on Hulu. I don't know, but this is the only movie in the list that I could not finish, that I had to cut off. That I had to just stop it. I said, nope. No to Rogue. Rogue is about these lions. What I watched, the movie opens up with these lions being put into cages, and they're cattle prodding. They're cattle prodding the lions, and they cattle prod this one lion, but then it doesn't die, and it just has like they just have this thing in the eye and it didn't die, and then so the lion then eats everybody, and then it cuts to to Megan Fox, who's apparently in charge of a militant group of mercenaries or something, and it was very unbelievable. The tigers, the lions in the film were very, when they attacked and then when they moved, it was very CG and it was very corny, like very bad. Like it was pretty bad. I was like, nope, I'm not watching this. So sits there at number 45. 44. Doolittle. Coming in at 44 is Doolittle. This movie came out early 2020. Started, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doolittle. He's not like this on. Anyways, this was not good. This was a very bad adventure movie. The adventure was lame. Nothing made sense. There wasn't I feel like the script or something. This movie was not written cohesively. The scenes are kind of just slapped together, and he's just treadling along. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is fine, but he feels like he's replaying he's like a dumbed down, like a wackier version of the Sherlock Holmes character. And then the finale with the farting dragon was so it just was so stupid. I just can't even think about it. So 44, Doolittle was dog shit. But 43. Coming in at 43, we have The Call. The Call starred Tobin Bell, some random teenager kids, or adult teenagers, whatever they are, and that Tobin Bell reprising his Jigsaw character from the Saw franchise in a non-Saw movie. He even says the same lines, like, you want to play a game and all kinds of crap. And then this lady is in it, the lady from those Insidious movies or whatever, and it was no good. I can't stand that lady from the Insidious films or whatever. Insidious? No. What am I saying? No. I don't know what she's in. She's in maybe Annabelle. It's Annabelle franchise or something. It is no good. But it's a weird movie. Basically, these teens like to haze Tobin Bell's wife, and then the wife kills herself, and then Tobin Bell calls the teenagers to come over, and the teenagers like, oh, what are you doing? What's going on? And it's like, you made my wife kill herself. Now you need to survive a 2-minute phone call with her. And they go and they call her, and she's like, I'm crazy. I'm gonna kill you. Ha ha ha. You were beaten as a child. Ha ha. It really made no sense. It was just kind of goofy, and and it was trash. 42. Number 42, we have Wonder Woman 1984. Now, some people are probably going to be like, what? No. Okay, so Wonder Woman 1984. At first I thought, okay, this might be good. And then Wonder Woman shows up. And Wonder Woman is the fakest character in the world. She is the fakest superhero in the world. She moves fake. Everything about her's fake. She's a fake. And she reminded me why I hate DC so much and why I think DC is unbelievable. Their characters are fake as hell. They all act fake as hell. The only character that feels real is Batman. Everyone else is just, all their other characters are OP and trash. And then the boss fight was horrible. Everything about the ending was bad. This weird redeemable character crap they keep doing in these movies. And then it was just, and the cheetah lady was no good. Trash. 41. Coming into 41, I'm piling on like with the rest of the free world and saying Mulan. Mulan lacked the fun that the cartoon had. The live action Mulan lacked any joy that you may have. They turned the crow into a witch randomly. I guess to have a female villain that's not a villain. They made a bunch of stupid decisions just to make this weird empowerment movie. Like, oh look, this man needed a woman. The cons needed this woman lady witch. And I was not impressed with the live action Mulan at all. Number 40. Number 40 is Kajillionaire. Kajillionaire. Some of you may not even know what this is. Kajillionaire is this weird, wacky movie about a family, and they live next to a bubble place. And they're basically con artists. Like, so this family is con artists. They steal, and then they try to sell the stolen items for more money. And it's like this wacky stuff with them trying to steal and sell stuff to pay the rent at this horrible place they live at. That's this weird bubble place. And it sounds like, oh, that's funny, but it's like it's kind of weird because there's some like quirky moments in it, almost like a Napoleon Dynamite type of comedy, but the movie goes nowhere. It ends up becoming this weird lesbian movie about like coming out of the closet and this whole thing, and it's like, I don't know what this movie's about. It's about nothing. Nothing happens. It's just random. At least in the Napoleon Dynamite, there was like a cohesive, like, things were happening and things mattered in the story, but not in this movie. This movie was really bad. It was not even bad. It wasn't really bad. It was boring as hell. Boring. 39. Coming in at 39, we have Scoob. Scoob was super disappointing. I had high hopes for it. I thought we were going to see some like weird origin story Scooby-Doo or something, and then it turns out to be this whole thing with the fucking superhero character, and this is like this was supposed to come out in theaters, and it seemed like just another one of their straight to DVD videos. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be the higher up Scooby-Doo animated film, and the animation wasn't great. Actually, the animation was good, but there's everything about it was just disappointing as far as the story, and it really came off as something that they should have just made, like that fucking the zombie one and all the other DVD straight to VHS. 38. The War with Grandpa. The War with Grandpa stars fucking, what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones? No. What's that dude? It stars that old dude from Parent Trap. No, Meet the Parents. It stars that dude from Meet the Parents, and he gets in this like weird prank war with his grandson over the room, because the grandson has to move into the room with his brother, and his brother's a pain, and because the grandpa's getting old and has to move into the house with his son and grandchildren, and his mom, no, it's his daughter grandchildren, and so they just kind of battle it out. This is another one of those movies where nothing really happens. Kind of a kiddie movie, kind of kid-like film. And yeah, it wasn't horrible. I'll say it wasn't the worst thing that ever graced my eyes. Just very bleh, very bleh. So, 37. Coming at 37, this one may spark controversy. Coming in at 37, Tenet. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, you just didn't get Tenet. Tenet was too smart for you. No, I understood Tenet. Tenet falls under the boring category. Boring as shit. Maybe if they had fucking interesting actors. I mean, who's the main actors? Some random guy I've never seen before. He might be in something. I don't know what he's in, but I've never seen him before. Some random guy I've never seen before. And fucking Robert Pattinson. Boring ass movie. There's some interesting stuff in it, but I feel like, who could have made this movie better? Michael Bay. If Michael Bay did Tenet, it would be a good movie. Anyways, 36. 36, We Can Be Heroes. How is that better than Tenet? We Can Be Heroes is a Netflix movie. It takes place in the Spy Kids universe. And basically, it's these kid superheroes are put on lockdown after an alien invasion. And they break out of lockdown and have to go save their superhero parents. Including like Shark Boy and Lava Girl and whatever. This was actually not too bad. It was just it's a very kid movie and very corny and stupid, and it has Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and certain scenes made me want to stab forks in my ears and brain, but yeah, 36. 35. 35 is the one and only Ivan. That was a Disney Plus movie about this gorilla who lives with the dude that makes meth, the blue meth, or whatever it makes. And he lives in captivity, and he's like, "Oh, I love this place," but then he kind of starts losing the main event attraction or whatever to like this new gorilla, and it kind of opens his eyes, and he gets upset, and he basically ruins the show so that everyone can go back to the wild, where he probably dies because he doesn't know shit about the wild. So it's a sad movie, and it was pretty dumb. 34. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just go through these kind of faster, because around 34 to 10, I mean, I kind of just threw these on here because they're kind of interchangeable. 34. Spencer Confidential. I can barely remember what even happens in this movie. That's how nothing burgers it was. But I felt it was probably good enough that where I didn't think it was trash to put down in the bottom. 33. Honest Thief. Honest Thief is just a typical Liam Neeson movie, and I watched it, and then I pretty much forgot about it almost as fast as Spencer Confidential, and that's why they're so close together. So, Honest Thief, 33. 32. Half Brothers. Half Brothers was interesting. It had a good storyline. It made me feel a certain way at moments, but overall, it wasn't funny. It was billed as a comedy, this comedy type film. I feel like one of the characters was trying to be Zach Galifianakis, and it just wasn't working. Overall, it's a passable movie, but it did not break any ground for me. And with two no-name actors, it's hard to get invested. I say no name. I don't know who they are. Two actors I don't know. It's just kind of just random. So if they would have, they just didn't stick the landing for me as far as entertainment goes. And so the overall story in the film is very nice and, kind of heartfelt. But yeah, a lot of the characters didn't really land. And a lot of some of the scenes, there were certain scenes that fell flat as well. So that's why I've had a 32. 31, I have Coffee and Kareem. Now, this almost falls under the Spencer Confidential I forgot that it existed category, but every time I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was funny. It was funny. It had some funny stuff. Oh, that ending's, I didn't really like that scene, but oh yeah, that's funny stuff. So, because of that, I have it up above all those. So, 31, Coffee and Kareem. Ed Helms teams up with Ed Helms, the cop, teams up with this girl, and they do stuff, and they partner up, and there's like a corrupt cop, like always, and blah blah blah. Number 30, we have Trolls World Tour. Trolls World Tour was the sequel to the Trolls film. It's passable. That's it. Number 29, Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. I put it at number 29. A little better than Trolls World Tour. If they would have had some better villain music, it was fine. I liked a lot of the actors. It was a good little Christmas movie, little Christmas family movie. I didn't believe that older actor was the same as the younger actor. Like some of the age. The changes that were made to the actors from the opening scene to the next scene were unbelievable. I mean, when I say that, I mean it was like, I do not believe this at all. This is fake. I don't know what's happening. Y'all should have just kept the other fucking actors. Like, they see, even I didn't even know them. Like, they were new actors, but they was basically like these no-name actors transform into, in the second, in the after the opening, they transform into named actors, big time actors, and it was like, that's weird. And so it's just kind of jarring, and then it's very kiddie, and like some kid does stuff that's like, oh yeah, you're a child, this is fake. So 29. 28 I have as The New Mutants. New Mutants was for those that don't know, is an X-Men franchise film that was pushed back many years. I think it was supposed to come out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it got pushed back a long time. Kept getting delayed. It was finally released in 2020, and it was kind of lame. It didn't have the horror elements that everyone said it was going to have in it. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to have this horror element vibe, and I kind of see where that might have lingered, but I didn't feel it at all. And the bear looked cool. The demon bear was kind of cool. There's some cool stuff. I like the fact that they had the sister of that of the metal dude in Deadpool films. Other than that, New Mutants was it's a fun comic book movie that I'll remember, but it wasn't that good. 27, Becky. At number 27, we have the movie Becky, starring Kevin James as a bad guy. Kevin James usually plays these wacky, funny characters, but now he's a bad guy. He's a neo-Nazi guy going head-to-head with the Becky character. This is pretty brutal. This is a brutal movie. Becky gets brutal. This is crazy. I almost want to rank it a little higher, but there was certain plot points that I didn't believe. I didn't really believe the lead actress was killing these people. It was hard to believe a lot of the stuff I was watching. But it was a movie that I started Googling, like, wait one second, is she, because I really think that Becky was a Nazi. and that she just snapped because her dad died, but I don't think she gave a fuck about the other people. And her mom was a Nazi. So I think her mom was a neo-Nazi and had this box. And there's this plan to give these neo-Nazis this box that would get them a lot of money. And so they had to get a key, and Becky had the key, and so it was this big ordeal, and killing Daddy, and then she goes crazy and murders everybody. But it was a fun movie, but there was some. I had some issues with it. 26. Coming in at 26, we have The Croods: A New Age. This was a sequel to The Croods. I ranked this so high, maybe because it was the first movie I seen since the start of the pandemic in March. And so I'll probably have this in my memory for a while. It was okay. I watched it with my son, and we had fun watching it. And yeah, it was fun. Fun to watch with the kids. 26. 25. Coming at 25, we have Bloodshot. Bloodshot, a Vin Diesel super soldier movie. That's all you need to know. Vin Diesel super soldier movie. 24. 24, we have The Binge. The Binge is like The Purge, but drinking instead of murdering in kids. Basically, anyone of like 18 or 17, something. Anyone can drink or do drugs. All drugs and alcohol are legal. And it was fun. Vince Vaughn plays the principal, and he really made that movie for me. And plus that main character was in that zombie show, with the E.T. girl, the little girl from E.T. She's an older lady now. The Binge, 24. 23. 23 is Tremors Shrieker Island. And you already know why. I'm not going to explain it. But 23 is Tremors Shrieker Island. 22. 22, we have Soul. Soul came out on Disney Plus over on Christmas, yeah. And it was a solid Pixar movie, standard Pixar movie. Maybe it feels some way at points, but overall, that's why it's not higher. Usually Pixar movies, I make them in my top 10, but this one is 22. Sorry. 21. 21 is Extraction. Extraction, starring Chris Hemsworth, Thor, in this military-styled action film. A lot of the action feels a lot like John Wick. A lot of John Wick action here. Basically, he's a mercenary. He's trying to take this kid to an extraction point. The whole city in the Middle East is hunting, or India is hunting this kid. And he is trying to protect the kid, and then there's like this other hitman that's trying to get the kid, and it's kind of crazy. It's a really it was really fun, but it felt like a standard action film to me, to be honest. Number 20. Number 20 was a surprise. Fat Man. Fat Man stars. Oh God, I should have read this down, but it stars somebody. Fat Man is about Santa Claus, and he starts working with the government to make this stuff because he blah blah blah. Anyways, he gives this rich kid coal, and the rich kid gets so pissed off he hires a hitman to kill Santa Claus. And what really made this movie so high for me was probably that ending. Like I actually did I liked the build up to the finale. I felt like the finale was worth it. Like this crazy showdown, the hitman walking around the North Pole and murdering people, and then he has this shootout with Santa Claus. I felt the build up was fun. I thought the shootout was fun, and the whole I've got my eye on you, whenever Santa Claus' eye is hanging out of his head. It's pretty messed up, but that's why it's so high up on the list, because I thought it was unique. 19. Okay, so this one I almost put a little higher. This is on Hulu. It's called Run. This movie follows a sick child with her mother, but it turns out the child may not be that sick. It may not need his medicine, and that might not be her real mom. And it's so fucking crazy. It's a crazy ass movie, and I do not like that actress, or this would be way higher rated. But other than that, I mean, it had me on the edge of my seat, and it was really good. Besides, half of this movie was an actress I do not really care for, and so. Number 18. Number 18, we have Unhinged. Unhinged stars the gladiator guy, and he's stuck in traffic after he killed his ex-wife and ex-wife's new boyfriend. And then this lady honks at him, and so he terrorizes her and starts killing her boyfriend and lawyer, and tries to kill her family members. 17. 17 is another Hulu film. Palm Springs. Palm Springs. I am a sucker for time loop movies, and so I really enjoyed Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a time loop movie starring Andy Samberg, a few other people you may know, and it wasn't crazy funny. Had they done this movie, I liked the premise that they were able to, I liked the premise. I liked how they went about it. Basically, the movie is following, you don't realize that he's already in the loop. That's what I liked about it, is that this one guy's already in the loop. And then what's interesting was other people were in the loop as well. And I felt that made a very interesting dynamic. I love it when they do that. Stargate did it once, where two characters were experiencing the loop. And I really enjoyed it in this movie. I feel like more loop movies could get away with doing... there could be more loop movies if they did it in a way like this, where more than one person was experiencing the time loop. I enjoy time loop movies. I'm a sucker for them, so that's why it's so high on this list. Number 16. Number 16 is Hubie Halloween. What can I say? It was funny. I laughed strangely a lot during Hubie Halloween. I thought it was really silly and a fun little Halloween movie. Number 15. Number 15. Train to Busan 2, Peninsula. Peninsula was more an action-styled version of the first Peninsula. It's kind of odd, but I was on the edge of my seat. I really enjoyed it. Number 14. Number 14, we have Bad Boys for Life. It was so long ago, but I'm sure I rated it that high for a reason. Number 13. Number 13, we have Birds of Prey. I was surprised by this one, which is why it's so high. I mean, it's not top 10, obviously, but it's so high on my list, and I'm so surprised it's on my list. I thought I was going to hate this movie, but it's probably the best comic book movie that came out. It was very quirky and funny. Once again, there were scenes with Harley Quinn. It's like, you're a fake character. DC cannot make real characters. Every DC character is fake. Number 12. Number 12 is the Daniel Radcliffe film Guns Akimbo. Super fun movie. Basically, Daniel Radcliffe has guns nailed to his hands, and it goes into all sort of wacky death game stuff. Fun. Number 11. Number 11, we have Freaky. Freaky stars Vince Vaughn and some random chick, and they switch bodies. Vince Vaughn's a serial killer, and he switched bodies. He accidentally. I don't know if it's an accident or what, but he switches bodies with a teenage girl, and the teenage girl becomes a serial killer. And I liked I liked certain aspects of this film. I thought it was really fun, and there were certain aspects where the girl was trying to manhandle people, but she couldn't because she wasn't a 7-foot tall Vince Vaughn anymore. And it was like, and so I liked how they had to find a way to make it believable that this teenager was a serial killer now. It was fun. It was a fun movie. Interesting kills in it. I thought it was gonna be in my top 5 when I watched it, but it was not. It wasn't. There was some stuff in it that still made it kind of low. So number 10 might surprise a lot of people. I put number 10 as Onward. A lot of people hated this movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed Onward. I liked the concept. I liked this the world that they have. I like the unicorns or rats or whatever, these raccoons, and so I really enjoyed that Onward animated Pixar film. It wasn't, animation wise and a lot of stuff wasn't on par with Soul, and you're like, what? Soul? You put Soul way down there? Why are you? But I felt like the story. I liked the story of Onward a lot more. I probably connected with it a little more so than I did with Soul. Number 9, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog was like the last film I seen pre-pandemic, and what can I say? I have fond memories, fond memories of pre-pandemic. Number 8, we have Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga. This is here because Ya Ya Ding Dong is the best song ever in the world, and I play it a lot. Ya Ya Ding Dong. Anyways, number 7 is Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. Wow, I was surprised by this animated Mortal Kombat movie. It was very gory. It stuck true to the Mortal Kombat video game, and I liked everything they did with. I liked the animation. I liked the voice acting. Joel McHale is actually a voice actor in the movie, which we interviewed Joel McHale last year, and so I mean, I felt this movie. This movie was really good animated anime. It was like it was done in anime style, which was really cool. Really good. Number 6. Now this movie came out, I think, the first week of 2020, and it was The Gentleman. The Gentleman is the Guy Ritchie movie with Matthew McConaughey and a bunch of actors in it, but mainly I remember Matthew McConaughey the most. Basically, this gangster guy, and he sells weed, and he's trying to sell his business, I think, and it gets all kind of crazy. Gentleman stuff happens. Number 5, I have. Here it is, my top 5 list. Number 5, Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, it was a mindfuck movie. I was on the edge of my seat this whole film. I did not know what was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a werewolf movie. I thought something, crazy was going to happen. I thought the dad was a fucking killer or something. There's a big twist at the end. The ending is going to be in my brain for a long time. And the build up to it, the build up to the ending was super slow. And I know what's funny is I said that a lot of these movies were boring. Some movies were boring. A lot of people might find Hunter x Hunter to be super boring, but I liked the pacing in it. I liked the acting in it. I felt like the suspense was it was just the right amount of suspense and just the right amount of extra stuff happening to where it kept me engaged. And yeah, that's what you need. You need and I don't even know these. I think I know one actor. I think he was a child actor before, and he was in SLC Punk, and that's it. So, so that's kind of funny. It's like, I was just talking about how Tenet, I don't know these actors, and it was boring, but just act good. Number four, we have The Hunt. The Hunt was a movie about liberals hunting conservatives, and then this conservative lady basically kills all the liberals, and it was fun stuff. Number three, we have The Wolf of Snow Hollow. I'm surprised of how much I love this movie. This was weird. It was quirky. It had like a lot of dry humor in it. I really enjoyed the humor in this movie. It was like funny, but then the horror elements of it, the horror parts, were actually intense and like gory and brutal. And it was like, wow, yeah. And I was like, it was kind of scary. The werewolf was kind of scary. This movie would be number one if they went with a different ending. I kind of didn't like the fact they went with this realistic version of an ending. I wish they kind of would have played more with the fantasy element. Had they kept the fantasy element there, I think it would have been better in my eyes. But because the ending was kind of dissatisfying to me, I'm keeping it number three. Number two. This one also could be number one. The only reason number two is not number one is because it's kind of hard for me to remember some things about it. So maybe it was there was a little bit of generic notes to it. Even though it wasn't generic, it was actually a pretty unique movie. It felt like a video game almost. But number two is Love and Monsters. Love and Monsters, starring Dylan O'Hare, the guy from the Maze Runner series, which I love. Maze Runner, I love that actor. And so he's in this movie, and he's trapped in a bunker, or not trapped, but they live in a bunker, and they're contacting people from other bunkers, and he's fallen in love with a girl, and he's gonna go see her. Well, now he's got to travel. He's like this weak guy that doesn't know anything about surviving, and he's gonna go travel to the beach where the lady that he loves, that he's in love with, lives. And that's the movie. He travels and has to deal with monsters and battle all kinds of different creatures. And I thought the monster designs were really cool. I thought the movie was really cool. I love the dog. He gets a dog, and they're like friends with the dog and stuff. And then I thought the boss monster, the final monster they fight, was really awesome. And I kind of liked the twist they do with some of the characters. Even though it was kind of predictable, it was still it was really fun. It was a really fun movie, and I really was happy with that film. I bought it. I bought that one. I paid my money and bought that one. So after watching it, I watched it and bought it. So Love and Monsters, number two. Number one, here we are. The final ranking in the list. Number one, Greenland. It's like, what? Greenland? I don't know why. Greenland is a Gerard Butler disaster movie, and this was the only movie where I was standing up and like pacing at the TV because it had my heart racing at certain scenes, like, because it was just like, oh my god, what is going on? I'm getting so mad. Like, I was just like, certain things were so crazy, especially not even really with Gerard Butler's character. Gerard Butler's character, it was very dramatic, but really there were some scenes with the mom and the son that I was just like, this shit's making me go crazy. Like, this is a crazy, because like, it's a disaster movie, but like they really they don't really have too many of that disaster. I mean, the disaster stuff happens, and when it happens, it's like, shit gets, destroyed and whatever, But it was all the other elements, like the human elements of the movie, that really made me be like, okay, yeah, this is a different kind of disaster movie. It's kind of showing more of the human elements, reminiscence of some of the older, better disaster movies of the world. And yeah, so number one in my 2020. Funny enough, the most disastrous year of our lifetime, 2020, and I pick Greenland, the disaster movie, to be the best movie of 2020. And there you go. There is my 2020 movie ranking list. I hope you enjoyed the list. I was drinking the Brewsanity by Carbach Brewing Company, the Golden Strong Ale, 8.5% alcohol per volume. I gave it a 7 out of a 10. Clean, crisp beer. Let me know, join us on our Facebook group and let us know what your favorite movie of 2020 was and what your least favorite movie of 2020 was. Thank you so much for listening, and do you agree with my list? If not, well, that's just your opinion. And that's fine, because all we have here are opinions and beer.
We are a million and billion to the pride for more.